Hello, folks, and welcome to another episode of the show that is still trying to recover from that daylight savings time change. Because let's face it, the older you get, the more of a pain in the ass it is to actually adjust to that. That's right, folks. Another episode of Dad's Turn to Talk. My name is Derek. I'll be your moderator for this evening. Folks, it's hard for people sometimes with that time change. You got to go an hour ahead. You lose an hour of sleep. And a lot of people don't like that. But you know what you should like is the show, which is very easy to do. I have good news. It's free. All you have to do is just go down, look at that little thumbs up, click that. And if you really want to go for extra credit, subscribe is right next door, also free. Won't you join us here on our mission for freedom? Now that that's out of the way, let's go ahead. Oh, I forgot. It's timestamps. How dare I? So we also timestamp our episode with the different segments that we have. You can feel free to take a look at that in the description. Click to whatever you'd like, but don't you want to stay for the whole show? Do yourself a favor. Come on, what do you got to lose? Have some fun. Well, I know what you have to lose. It's probably your dignity after what we keep doing to ourselves here. Having said that, let's introduce the hooligans that are commonplace here. We'll start off with a man who most likely threw up on Transformers today at Universal Studios. The one and only Josh. Hello. Josh.
Hi, Derrico. How are you today?
Living the dream, moving the movement, enjoying Canada Dry Ginger Ale Zero right now.
Yeah? Do you like it?
It's okay.
I was going to say, looking at that face, you've not enjoyed it too much.
I mean, I guess I was expecting more out of this one. It's just kind of like, meh, you know?
Interesting. No, we had a good day. We were at Universal. No, we did not go on Transformers or Jurassic World. We did the tram, which is incredible. We love the tram. Yes, we did Despicable Me, which is my daughter's favorite ride. And we had a great day. We literally just got back roughly an hour ago. So it was a very fun, family-filled day.
Okay, well, that's very nice. What else I'm wondering what all the rides they have there now. They got a lot there, don't they?
I mean, yes and no. The biggest thing now is they have the Nintendo World, which I feel is so overrated. They have like a Mario Kart ride that when it first came out, everyone was like, oh, great, you'll be able to like race against each other. And no, it's like a virtual reality where you're trying to fight Bowser, but it's just, it was very overrated. But they have some cool stuff. And the biggest thing they're creating is a Fast and the Furious roller coaster that they've been building now for about 2 or 3 years. It'll be ready early next year, and loops and the whole thing. I think it's called like Hollywood Drift. So that's going to be the big thing for them.
You should be ashamed of yourself for talking about Nintendo that way.
I know, that sounded cool to me.
Yeah.
And you guys try it. We did not think it was that cool.
I'm going to buy a shirt when I go after I try it. And I'm wearing it just for you. Yeah.
You will. I hate you.
All right.
I give up.
That. Let's move on to the man who he's got to be up to about 1,005 movie reviews at this point. All of them worth a gander. The one and only Bob. How are we this evening, sir?
Oh, well, I'm doing okay today. Not so much tomorrow because I'm going to go see Snow White. So,
okay.
I'm going to.
Before we go any further.
In all fairness, I got a free ticket, so that's why I'm going. I'm not actually wasting my money to go see it.
No, you still would have gone without a free ticket. Come
on.
Well,
that is true because I do like to review this stuff regardless. I mean, I like to say that I'm going to take one for the team, but if I hate the movie, I actually have more fun. So
I was about to say we need to put like a legal disclaimer of this. The views of Bob going to see Snow White are his and his alone.
Yes.
We did not tell him to do that.
Well, we'll see, because there were some early reviews that came out that looked like it might be okay, and then they lifted the review embargo today, and now it's sitting at 48% over on Rotten Tomatoes.
Well, what about Blaine's site? What's that sitting at?
Well, it just hasn't come out yet, Josh.
Remember, yeah, you got to wait till Friday.
Critic list is for average viewers, so
okay.
It's not it's not because that's why it's critic less.
Okay.
You sure?
Yes.
Shut up!
I hate you. I hate you. And he told you to shut up, Derek. That was all for you.
No, that actually was on you.
No, that was for you.
Yeah, it was for you.
Mm-mm. Mm.
You know what? I'm just not going to talk. I give up.
You finally learned.
Agreed.
Oh, wonderful.
He'll bust one open if he doesn't.
All right. Well, now that the formalities are out of the way, let me go ahead and move on with our first topic for the evening. Let's get ourselves into a review. Take it away, Bob. Take us out. That's right, folks. We're on number 4. God, we're already on number 4. I can't believe that. Okay. 4 out of 9. Episode of the Daredevil came out yesterday while we're filming this. All right. Let's go around the horn. Josh, I'll even start with you tonight. How do you feel about that?
Hold on. Spoiler warning here real quick.
Oh, right. Yes. Excuse me.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
How dare I forget that? Shame on you.
Can't forget that.
I know, you can't forget that. So, as I like to call this, the Matt Murdock show, because we still haven't gotten Daredevil. But, I will say the first half, I really thought that this was a dud. And then the last 20 minutes got really good. And why are you shaking your head, Bob?
There he goes, using my words again.
No, I had to that was just a joke. I had to do it.
No, it wasn't a joke. It's just how you plagiarize everything. So.
No, I wasn't plagiarizing. I was actually joking on that one. I do hope that we're getting what you both said last week. Probably next week, we're finally getting Daredevil. Because I don't know. It's, to me, I liked the episode. I thought it was interesting. I love Kingpin. I love how sadistic this guy can actually be. The ending was, awesome. Oh, God dang it. I'm sorry, guys.
Judge!
I keep having my daughter's friend FaceTiming her, and it goes through the laptop. Good Lord. Anyway, my apologies. Nothing I can do about it. Let's see, what else? They were
Nothing you can do about it. You can put it on silent.
Yeah, that is.
It's going through the laptop.
Why is it going through your
My
laptop?
phone. Because he's calling her on Lisa's phone, and her phone is connected to the laptop. I can't do anything about this.
You can disconnect it from the computer.
How? I have no idea how to do that.
Okay, forget it. Just move on.
You bunch of losers!
Son. Having issues. Hold on. I saw the beetle and I missed the Beetlejuice. Darn it.
Well, no one's fault but your own.
Okay, so where was I? So there were aspects of it I really enjoyed, but again, in the back of my mind is like, I want to see Daredevil. It's like we didn't have this on the Netflix series from what I've seen, right? It was all about Daredevil, and it's like Disney takes over it and changes it.
I wouldn't say it was all about Daredevil.
No.
But I'm just saying, am I wrong that we're not getting Daredevil quick enough?
Well, I mean, I'll give you the fact that he hasn't showed up as much as he did in the first 4 episodes of the Netflix show.
I mean, and again, I'm hoping next week is a different story because we see him training and everything. So maybe he's like wanting to get back into it and get going again. God, I hope so. I do like the chemistry he has with the new love interest. I thought that was, I kind of like that, but I still would, I don't know when Karen's coming back into the picture. Let's see, what else did I...
You like the Matt Murdock romance?
Yeah, it was good. The part with the guy trying to get parole was ridiculous. I think that just was a waste of time, took too long. What else? The therapy session with Kingpin and his wife. I don't know if we really
You
needed
didn't like that?
It was okay. What I liked was when the guy, his assistant, got busted. And, like, I got to give it to him. He just went and said, it's my fault. I did it. Like, out of nowhere.
He was ready to kill him, though.
Yeah.
I was like waiting for it. I was like shocked that he was like kind of gave him, the benefit of the doubt and was
And
like,
even though he didn't fire him, it wasn't like he let him off the hook completely. Do you remember what he said to him at the end of his spiel?
Yeah.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
Says, if you do this again, this will be the last thing you ever do.
Yeah. And so, I know what I had to ask Bob. Was the actress who played with, Kingpin's assistant or the girl, was that Sherry Palmer from 24?
No.
Okay. Okay. Anyway, but yeah, I thought it was a good episode. The whole Punisher scene with him and Deadpool was awesome. I really enjoyed that scene. It was cool for me to finally see Punisher. I really hadn't followed him that much. I thought they did, excuse me. I really loved the whole, dynamic between him and Matt Murdock. But that's it. That's it. It was a good episode, but next week, I'm really hoping we start to see Daredevil.
You complained an awful lot to get to the fact that this was a good episode.
I'm just saying we're not getting Daredevil. It's a Daredevil show. And again, are we getting Daredevil Reborn? Okay, episode 9, we'll finally get to see Daredevil.
Complaining.
You know what? I'm allowed to say what I want.
Well, not really, because Bob will mute you and kick you off if you go too far with that.
I give up.
Oh, Josh, go ahead. Keep going.
No, go ahead.
I'm done. I said
You're
what I
done?
want. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, Bob, to you, sir.
All right. I got to agree with Josh on the first part of this. I thought that first part was kind of slow. The whole segment where he's trying to get this guy off on parole,
Yeah.
I thought that was a pretty boring segment. And the part that made it, or what made it kind of funny, was that the guy kept saying, "Oh, get me paroled, get me probation. I don't want to go to prison," but he had broken crimes over and over and over again. And like Matt Murdock told him, the sentences get longer; they don't get shorter.
Yeah.
And he went into this whole spiel about how the city's against him and all this stuff, and I'm thinking, well, quit stealing everything, dude. That's why you keep ending up in jail. So I didn't exactly feel for him. And I get what they were trying to do. I think they were trying to show that Matt Murdock at this point, now that it's been a year, a little bit longer since he's been Daredevil, he's beginning to get frustrated with the system, that the system isn't really working. Because as a lawyer, and you've mentioned this before, Derek, he believes in that system, but that's why he puts on the suit, because it doesn't always work the way it's supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where as Daredevil, he goes and he takes care of it. So I think he's getting frustrated. And I think that's what they were trying to show. I just think they picked the wrong storyline to show it. Also, the whole issue with Kingpin and Vanessa, I enjoyed it in like the first episode or two, but now I think it's beginning to drag out a little bit. However, I think they salvaged that with the ending, and I'll get to that in a moment. Because there was a key moment in episode 1, I think it was episode 1, where she tells Kingpin not to kill Adam, the guy she had an affair with, and he's like, "Don't worry, I'm not going to kill him." And during that therapy session, they're talking about what happened to Adam, and they're both just like, I don't know what happened to him. Right. So I thought that was kind of interesting, and especially given where it ends up. And again, I'll get to that in a moment. So I thought that first half was kind of slow, and I thought that's easily the weakest that we've seen so far this season. That being said, I really enjoyed once we got into the section where Matt Murdock is trying to find the bullet casing.
Yep.
I thought that was very interesting. And then he finds out that it's got the Punisher's logo on it. And I think we're going to go somewhere with that, with like some bad cops and stuff like that. Because all the cops, I'm thinking, have the tattoo, because they keep hiding like a tattoo on them.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm thinking that's where that's going. But once we actually get to the scene with him and Frank Castle, I thought that was really good. It was cool seeing John Barenthal back as this character. And I actually heard this today, that in the original version of this show, he refused to come back because he did not like where they took the Punisher character. It was only after they rewrote the character that he agreed to come back. And so that's good that he's actually saying, no. Let's keep the Punisher the way he's supposed to be. And so I thought that was a great scene. And you see Matt Murdock break down a little bit, and you see Frank Castle talking about his son, and that he kind of relates that to Murdock's experience with Foggy. And I thought that was a really, really cool scene. Probably my favorite scene of the show so far, besides the diner sequence. So, but this is probably my favorite so far in the show. The ending I thought was really cool, where you see Matt beginning to train again, and he's beginning to come to grips that he's going to have to do something about this. And at the same time that he's doing this, you're seeing Wilson Fisk. He goes up to this like hidden room or wherever it's at, and he's sitting down eating dinner. And in the background, there's this guy in a cage. It turns out that it's Adam, and he actually makes a reference to him, and he's sitting there eating in front of him. I'm like, man, you are one sadistic dude. But he kept his word to Vanessa. He didn't kill him.
He was merely having a conversation.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
He's just talking to him. But that's pretty sadistic, what happens there. So the ending, I'd say the last 15 to 20 minutes of this particular episode, I thought were really good. Again, the sequence with the Punisher has been my favorite so far in the show, and I liked the actual ending. So that was solid, and I'm curious to see where it's going to go, because I think that's setting up something, because our prediction was that we're going to see Daredevil in episode 5 or 6. And so I think that's where we're going with this. So overall, I like that last 20 minutes.
Good stuff. Okay. So I'm with you guys on the fact that it was slow for about that first half or so.
Right.
Like to the where Matt Murdock is going to talk to I can't remember who, but in essence, they were like trying to talk about, getting parole and making, a negotiation with that. I'm like, are we really turning this into a show about paperwork?
Yeah.
Like this, we can't go there. This isn't the sexy part of the courtroom. This is like the least sexy part of it. So I got a little nervous about that. But where I did like where that first half went was, I think the point of the Born Again label on the title is that Daredevil has to get pushed to that. He has to be made to crack. He needs to feel the pressure in order to do it, which is why the scene with Frank Castle is so powerful, is because he basically, like Frank Castle says, like, I'll give you permission if that's what you're looking for here. If you want permission to crack, do it. Because that's the beauty. That's why Punisher and Daredevil are so fascinating to watch in terms of the heroes they are, but the few that they have. Is because for Punisher, there is no courtroom system. He's Daredevil and worse. He doesn't believe in that middleman. That's gone for
Judge,
him.
jury, and executioner.
That's it. All of them in one shot.
Did he have that beard in the Netflix series, or this is something new?
That's new.
That's new.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But the scene is so powerful because you really feel Matt Murdock begin to break. And Frank Castle is the guy who actually does it. It's actually much more of like a villain thing to do, but they threw it into a hero situation, which I thought was very, very well done.
Yeah.
And not only with Matt Murdock do we feel him getting the pressure, but Wilson Fisk is getting the pressure now too. And so both of these guys are trying to play it on the level. They're trying to play it straight. And within that last 20 minutes, you figure they can't. Matt Murdock is the Daredevil, and he found out that he had to bring that back out within himself. So, Josh, to your point, I understand that there's no Daredevil right now, but they set the table up for the action.
Okay.
Because he's sitting there with the Billy Club, which I don't even know what kind of a weapon it is. It's awesome.
The staff, right? That's what Bob told me.
He's sitting there. Yeah, he's sitting there training with it, getting his body back into it, starting to realize like man, I do feel comfortable in this skin. And meanwhile, Wilson Fisk is like, no more mayor. Like, no, I'm going to have dinner in front of the guy who I went cheating on me with, and I'm going to watch him lose his mind. So now you have a true villain and a true hero, and they're both getting back to their rightful spots in their psyches. So I thought it was a beautiful. The last 20 minutes really show that, but it was a nice lead up all around to that.
And you see that they're trying to live within the confines of their new roles. Like you see Wilson Fisk, for example, he's got that model saying, well, I want to build this and I want to do this. And he's got his assistant there saying, no, you can't do this. Okay, well, what's the first thing we got to do? Well, you're going to have to get the zoning committee. Well, let's do that. Yeah, but before you do that, you got to put it on the docket. Okay, well, let's do that. He's wanting to do things to better the city, because that was one of the things that he always wanted to do in the original show. Is he did a lot of what he did because he wanted to better the city. Granted, he had very manipulative ways and evil ways of doing it, but he did have a goal in mind to better the city if in a way that he thought was going to be better. And so he's doing that here, trying to do that as mayor, but he has to live within these legal boundaries that he can't go outside of. And then I thought it was interesting. You talk about the pressure. He's sitting there with those kids and they're singing, and they're like, okay, well, now for our next course. No. It's okay. And then he goes to that other meeting and they're singing the same song.
Yeah.
So I thought that was great because he's just like, God, I hate this.
Yeah. That's what's the best part about it, is that Daredevil and Kingpin are frustrated over the same thing. They're trying to play by the rules, and they don't work within the rules.
No.
They're having a hard time doing it. So they have to revert back to their old ways. Hence Born Again. It's great stuff. It's very, very intriguing. I like the layers again with this episode. It did move slow, like you said, at first, but I think where we're going is going to be a lot of fun. I'm intrigued. Very intrigued after that episode.
I like this villain, Bob said. What was his name? Bob Muse?
I think that's what I heard.
Yeah, I think that is. Yeah.
What's his story, Derek? You tend to know this stuff.
I don't know much about Muse other than the fact that I think he's like an ex-surgeon.
Okay.
I think that's what his deal is. He used to be like an ER surgeon or something like that, if I remember correctly. But I don't know much about him, actually.
Okay.
Let's see. I'm looking at it right now. Let's see. It says that he was a mysterious, deranged artist.
Oh, okay. Wasn't the surgeon.
And he's an arch.
Yeah, okay. He's a serial killer street artist.
There you go.
And he's in the Daredevil comic.
I'm pretty sure. Yes, I think he was like a later villain, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, hold on. Let's see here. Yeah, he's in it, but he came later in the Marvel world.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why you're not seeing. That's why we're probably not as familiar with him, because he probably showed up when we were like in college, and then we weren't really reading comic books as much at that point.
Not even in college. Well, I don't know when his first appearance was, but I'm reading here that his first appearance in Daredevil was in September 2016.
Oh, really?
Oh, forget.
So I don't know if that
man.
That too.
So I don't know if that was his first appearance or if that was just okay. Yeah, that was his first appearance. Period.
He first appeared in Daredevil Volume 5, number 11, September 2016, in the story arc Dark Art.
That just made me feel very old.
So what's interesting is he actually was created after the Netflix show.
Yeah, that's interesting, and that they're using him. Like, besides Kingpin, who else is Daredevil's arch enemies?
Bullseye, but we already know about him.
We know, yeah.
Yeah, he's away for life.
Right.
I have a feeling we're going to see him again.
Probably.
He'll get out of prison.
And then Kingpin. Who else is
who else is there?
Beef with?
There's
more. There's more.
I wouldn't say really a villain, but on, off again, kind of nemesis ally Elektra.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
A very dysfunctional relationship like him and Punisher. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Who else has he had? Here, hold on. Let's look this up.
Because I'm just trying to figure out his rogue gallery.
Let's see here.
Yeah, I got a bunch here.
The first thing that's popping up is Muse, ironically enough.
Well, that's because of the show.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh,
you mentioned
go ahead.
Electra. I mean, there's multiple ones. I mean, we could go down the list. There's a guy named Black Tarantula, Blackwing. You got Bullseye, Copperhead.
Copperhead sounds
I forget
familiar.
about Copperhead. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why I've seen Copperhead. Did he like delve into Spider-Man like in the comics?
He had a feud with Mysterio at one point.
Yeah, he did. Sandman too.
So he's kind of woven in between his own rogue gallery and Spider-Man's.
He's done a few things with Spider-Man villains, because he and Spider-Man, I think, had like a little like miniseries because they're both in New York, so they had. I mean, or that's the idea of them. So I think they paired them together to kind of fight crime, and this may have been when Spider-Man's fighting Sinister Six. So maybe
think about it. Spider-Man's your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, and Daredevil's the devil of Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah, the neighborhood lawyer.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he's got so there's also the Hand, which is like an organization, like a whole organization of like basically like rejects, and they become a crew of foot soldiers as a result. They get somebody trains them, I can't remember who, but they become like big martial arts experts, and then it's one versus many when Daredevil has to face them all.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So there's some out there. The Daredevil really wasn't as big of a comic as like some of the other heroes that we know, but his stuff is always intriguing, much more of an adult comic.
Yep.
So I'm excited to see where it goes next. I hope that wasn't the only scene with the Punisher. Dear Lord, we got to get more of him.
Yeah, we need more.
No, I'm sure you are. I'm sure you're going to get him in there fighting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, Josh, the way you're worried that we're not going to get Daredevil. I mean, it's a possibility.
Well, it's a Disney show, so we probably will get, Daredevil the last 5 minutes of episode 9.
If this happens,
I still don't think that's going to happen because I still don't think that's going to happen because that was the whole point of them revamping the show. My guess is that's probably how the show initially was.
Really? Look how excited you got for that. You're like, they were going to screw it up.
Well, you know what? At least they haven't screwed it up that bad so far, man. They've actually done pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, look, it's an interesting.
Josh has demands, so let's not get in the way of those.
I have what?
Demands.
I have no demands.
Yes,
you call the show Daredevil Reborn. Where's Daredevil?
He was reborn in the last episode. You saw him at the top of that building. Yes.
So we'll see him next week.
Okay.
Josh, you didn't even watch Daredevil. You have gotten what you've earned. You don't get it.
It's another Robert Downey Jr., Dr. Doom, and all. Here we go.
Well,
here we go.
Has that ever been like finalized in terms of who's going to be in that yet, or is that still?
No, I think they're still working on that.
No, it's under lock and key. We don't know.
All right. Well, now that they've heard Josh complain, they're going to push that back out too.
You know what? Shut up. Do not jinx it. Do not. We've already had enough with Batman Part 2. It'll probably be out in the year 2037. Why did you have to bring this up?
They're going to make the first Batman Beyond by the time they get that thing out.
Oh, God.
Starring Robert Pattinson.
It's like crazy.
Old Man of the Cave.
Oh, my God. It's like...
AI will handle that. Don't worry.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
If we get season 2 of the Penguin, Josh, come on, that'll be fun.
Oh, I hope we do.
I think we will if it's
taken we're going to get a Justice League Part 2 Snyder cut on Netflix before we get the Batman Part 2.
No, I don't know about that, man. Come on.
That's what I'm going to say.
Well, look, you still have a fun one coming out in July that should hold you over just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very excited about it.
So let's not forget that that's happening this summer. All right. Anything else on this, gents?
I got everything I was going to say.
I'm happy.
All right. It is time to move on to something that is also remindful of our childhood, that is coming back in a major way. Bob, if you would please.
That was awesome.
I was really hoping for the old Mortal Kombat theme, but I understand why you couldn't play it. I get it.
I wanted to. God, I wanted to play it.
I know. Cool. It's so good still. Oh, man.
It really is.
Well, folks, good news. They're making another Mortal Kombat. We've never talked about this, but it's actually not a bad place to start. Did you guys saw like the latest one, right? Like the
the clips that I got, those were from the latest one.
Go. Yeah. So you guys saw that one. What were your thoughts about that? Well, we'll start with you, and then we'll.
I liked it. I did not like that the story focused on a character that wasn't even in the video game. I wasn't a fan of that, but overall, I enjoyed it. I thought Kano was hilarious in it.
Yeah, it was good. Josh, what about you?
I really liked it. I love the final fight between Scorpion and Sub-Zero. And when Scorpion gets it, get over here.
Mm-hmm. Old school.
Yeah, exactly. I thought it was good. I remember, I've only seen it once. I think I liked it, Bob. I liked it more than you did, right?
I don't know about that.
I don't know. I really liked it. I don't think you had, like you said, you didn't like I just
said I didn't like the Cole character.
Right.
The rest of it I was fine with.
I thought it was a great movie. What do you think, Derek?
You know what? Surprisingly fun. I remember seeing it and I was just like, oh man, I don't know how this is gonna work. And me having little ones, especially they were even more little at the time. I didn't even get a chance to go to the theater to see the first one. So it was it must have been Carson when he was a baby and we were still up in the middle of the night, so I was awake. And I finally see this on HBO and I'm like,
yeah,
you know what? I'm up. Let's give it a go. And I was like, you know what? Not bad. That was pretty fun.
Yeah, it was right during the height of COVID, and they had released it, and I watched it, and I was like, oh yeah, I like this.
Not bad. Yeah.
And I love the ending when we got Johnny Cage leading into, I was like, oh, okay, awesome.
This might have actually been the first movie that I saw going back to theaters. It might have been this one. It was either this one. It was either this one or it was Kong versus Godzilla. It was one of the two. I don't remember which one released first.
Interesting. All right. Fun piece of history there. Let's talk about what is coming out, though, in terms of the new one. Let's see. So it looks like we're just getting some first images of this.
Yeah, let me go ahead and share my screen.
Yeah, you were able to show us this. So let's take a look at what we got.
Let's check it out.
Okay, so I'll leave the big one last. So
sure, go ahead.
Here's a look at Scorpion.
That's a good looking Scorpion.
I like that.
Yeah, I love how Hiroyuki Sanada is back, or Scorpion. He was great in Shogun. So
yes, he was.
I always like him as an actor.
I remember watching Shogun, and I'm like, oh man, Scorpion's the lead character. I got really excited.
That's funny.
He's a really good actor.
Is the costume a little bit different in this one than the last one?
I'm sure it is. They always make little changes to sequels.
Okay.
Yeah. Looks good.
Yeah.
Right, so that's that.
The eyes.
Now, here is Shao Kahn.
I think he looks cool. What do you think, Derek?
That's pretty demonic. It's not so bad. They got pretty accurate with that.
Yeah.
Played by a bodybuilder, by the way.
Who?
What's his name? I was just looking at it. Hold on. I think I still got it up.
Martin Ford is, yeah.
Yeah. Huge dude. Yeah, all tatted up.
What's the name?
Martin Ford.
Oh, okay. Bob, what did you think of this?
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Here's Kitana.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's really good. Hands and everything.
I've heard some people not too pleased with this particular casting.
Really?
Yeah. Kitana is, I don't know. Well, it's hard to tell from this picture, but she is very shapely. We'll say that.
Oh,
And so I've heard some
no.
people talking about that, both male and female fans of Mortal Kombat. So I point that out so it's not just a bunch of perverted guys saying something.
Was she in the first one or not?
No, I don't think so.
no. She wasn't.
Well, I like that. Well, let's look at. I'm gonna go back and look at her in the.
I mean, from what I see, I think she looks fine.
Yeah.
Think,
If the girl can fight, I'm sure she'll pull it off.
yeah, people just.
Hey, but I understand that. I mean, come on, Josh. I mean, you understand that. All right, and so here's the big one. I don't know if I can zoom it up.
Johnny Cage.
I'm getting a pretty good visual of it though.
I am too.
You can see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's it. That fits the bill. I mean, what's his name? Carl
Urban.
Carl Urban.
That's right. Yep. Good actor.
Star Trek and in The Boys.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
Look, I think The Miz would have been better.
I agree. The Miz was right there. He's right there.
It could have been really cool. We'll see how he does with this. You're not going to know until you see a trailer.
Yeah, it's true. He's like I said, good actor. It's not like he's a slouch or anything like that. But I take your point. How Miz would have been the right look.
You have to.
I mean, no joke. Look at this. Hold on. So we got Carl Urban there. Let me pull up this picture of the Miz. How is that not Johnny Cage?
Yeah, that's Johnny Cage.
That it makes no sense. That would have been the perfect casting. That's like totally Johnny Cage.
Read an autograph.
And it's not like he needed to be an A-list actor or anything like that, or Academy Award winning. I mean, we're talking about Mortal Kombat here.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see it.
That was good. I mean, it looks pretty jam-packed in terms of all the characters they are bringing in. So
I mean,
it should be fun.
I will say this. Let's see. Hold on. That's Johnny Cage from it's not bad. If you look at Carl Urban and you look at that one.
I think between the two, the Miz is better, but it's not bad.
Yes. No, it's not bad. I just remember Johnny Cage. God, I'm trying to look to see exactly what he looked like in the original Mortal Kombat.
Who, Johnny Cage?
Yeah, because I remember he had a.
Well, Miz actually fits the bill a little bit more.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
The Miz is also a few years younger, not much, but a few years younger.
I think.
Carl Urban's 52. And
Miz's wife should have played Sonya Blade.
Yeah.
My issue with this, it's just hard for me not to see him as the Butcher from The Boys now. I've gotten so used to that. Plus, he was a great Judge Dredd.
Yeah, there's that too.
He was great in Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, his Bones, right? Yeah.
He was Bones in Star Trek.
Yeah,
he did do a good job.
Bones in the reboot. So yeah, he was one of the few that I really liked in the reboot.
Do we know
I thought was just like spot on casting.
He's he really is hard when you find the role that you're perfect to play. It's hard to get out of that. It's almost a curse when you find that.
Like I said, he's great in The Boys. I mean, it's going to be hard for me to see him as
shake that off.
Yeah. But he is a really good actor. I thought he was great in The Lord of the Rings as Éomer. So, I mean, he's done some really good stuff. So I'm willing to give this a shot. I just think The Miz would have been better. But we got this. Let's give it a shot. He is a good actor. So
he was in the second Bourne Identity, wasn't he?
Not sure. He might have been.
I feel like he was. And I think he played actually a very good villain, if I'm not mistaken.
Let me look that up real quick.
Yeah. The Bourne Identity. It's not the Bourne Supremacy. It was the second one.
Yeah. No, it was the Bourne Supremacy.
Oh, it was? Oh, okay, I got it right. Very good. Yeah, he played a very good villain. Very cold, like stoic.
Random question, gentlemen. When Street Fighter 2 came out, had we, because that's all I remember is Street Fighter 2, how big it was. Was there a Street Fighter 1?
There was.
But it was not nearly as popular, right?
Not nearly.
I didn't think so. Like, I don't even remember it.
Street Fighter 1 looks like really cheesy, actually. It looks like Super Mario Brothers with fighting.
Oh, really? Yeah, I just remember Street Fighter 2 in the arcades.
Well, yeah, then that came out and that blew the roof off. That was it.
That was so good. And then Mortal Kombat came out right after it. Everyone's like, oh my God. Different.
That's when parents got all upset because there was blood ripping
fatality.
heads off.
Oh my God. Oh, all the moves.
Like real graphic, real fast.
And you had you wrote down all the move sets?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Back, Same with Street Fighter.
Do we know when this is supposed to come out? Hold on. I was meant to ask that. Oh, October this year.
What made it wasn't just the blood that made Mortal Kombat. It was that you could actually kill them at the end.
Yeah.
It was the fatalities. That was what made the game. And then I remember when the second one came out and every character had a couple of different fatalities that you could do.
Yes.
Yep.
So yeah, I think the second one is still one of my favorite Mortal Kombat games.
Am I wrong, gentlemen? Could you
Yes.
turn them into a baby? You're such a consistent jerk.
So anyway, what was your question?
Couldn't you turn them into a baby?
Oh yeah. They had a version of the game where you could do like babalities or
it was weird.
And then there was like a friendshipality or something like that.
Yes. No, it was like Raiden would like pop up the rainbow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny now if you go and watch like some of the Mortal Kombat games, that are coming out nowadays, they got all these different unlockable characters. Like you could unlock RoboCop or the Terminator. Like right now, they've been all over social media. They've been showing the unlocked T1000 for the brand new one.
Oh, nice.
And Robert Patrick actually posted it to his social media. So
well done.
So that's cool.
All right, very good. Well, I mean, okay, October 24th, just to let folks know, that's when it's coming out.
Heck yeah.
McCoy looks like he did this one. I'm trying to see a little bit more about the director here. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Oh, yeah, he's kind of brand new to the game. This is his third movie that he's directing. Okay. So we'll see. Should be interesting.
All right.
Well, speaking of stuff that's violent, boy, we're going to have some fun now. All right,
yes.
Bob, if you would, please. That's right, folks. In case Mortal Kombat didn't give you enough, we're going to get you here with John Wick's Ballerina. It's from the world of John Wick. It's basically going to be the female John Wick. Her name is Ballerina. So I believe we're going to watch a trailer. Am I right on the bone?
Let me go ahead and pull that up.
Let's do that.
All right, you guys ready?
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
In Slavic mythology, the Kikimara is a spirit that exists in the shadows. To those with darkness in their hearts, she can be vengeful. But to the innocent, she can be a protector. It's up to you to choose.
Welcome to the Continental. Checking in.
I'm looking for the tribe with this mark.
Needing to know is what got us banished from the Garden of Eden. Are you prepared to be cast out again, Eve?
Yes. I'd like to go hunting.
Will this be a large or small game hunt?
Large.
You have no idea what you just walked into.
Cool.
There's a declaration of war if she is not called off.
Perhaps I can send someone to solve the problem.
The Baba Yaga. Leave the wolf to its prey.
She sent you here to kill me?
Or you can leave.
I'm not leaving.
Your choice.
This is your fate. And you cannot change it.
Rules.
And consequences.
Dang. All right.
Wow.
Josh, your reaction first, please.
So I'm going to be honest with you guys. I've never seen any of the John Wicks.
Oh, shocking. Why am I not surprised at all?
You have no frame of reference here, Donnie. You're like a child who wanders into the middle of a movie and
True. You have no frame of reference, but I got to tell you, that trailer kicked butt.
Okay, all right, Josh.
What?
You've got to watch John Wick. You've got to watch.
Okay, so can you let me finish so I can?
I don't know. I'm just telling you now. You've got to watch those 4.
How many
films.
are there?
Look, four.
4 of them.
There's
You've
4
got
of
to
them.
watch them.
Yeah.
They are great, and they're not a tough watch. I mean, each one's like what, like an hour and a half, maybe.
Yeah,
an
I
hour,
was about to say they're
45 minutes at
not
most.
long.
Yeah, they got reasonable run times, but
Mm-hmm.
oh god, yeah.
Okay, yeah, no,
Fun.
because see Keanu Reeves there at the end,
Yeah.
but this looked like a very interesting movie to me. Like this was like, lots of action. It looked like a good story. I was definitely involved with it. I would see it.
Yeah, this was also when this is one of the series, Bob, you in just a moment. This is like one of the series where everybody had kind of fallen back in love again with Keanu.
Okay,
And this is one of the series that came out when everybody was giving him his flowers again. So
when was the first one?
2014.
Yeah.
The next one came out in 2017. Then it was 2019, and the most recent one in 2023. But I think that got delayed because of COVID. I could be wrong on that. That one's actually got the longest run time.
Yeah.
But boy, is it intense.
yeah, there's a lot that goes on in that.
You gotta see what's
Yep. Bob, your
And then
thoughts?
there's actually a spin-off TV show. I don't know if you've seen it, Derek. It's over on Peacock, called The Continental. It's about the Winston character.
Yes, I have been meaning to check that out, and I just haven't
It's cool.
gotten there yet. Is it good? Okay,
Yeah, I liked it.
nice. Things to write down. Okay, Bob, your reaction, please, sir.
All right, this looks great.
Yes.
I know you're going to have people come out and say, "Oh, well, we got another girl boss and whatnot," but they've established in the other films this world of assassins. So to me, it's totally believable. And the fact that they're hinting at a showdown between this character and John Wick, oh yeah, I'm down for this. The actress herself, I love this actress, Ana de Armas.
Yes.
She is great. I thought she was good in the last James Bond. She was also in Knock Knock with Keanu Reeves. I don't know if you've seen that.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty crazy, that movie. But I've liked her in almost anything that I've seen her in. So yeah, sign me up for this one. I'm looking forward to this. June. I'm there.
I'm gonna have to agree with the sentiments there. John Wick was another one. That one I actually caught in the middle of the night as well when Dominic was first born, and again everybody was sleeping, and I had to keep the volume real low on my TV.
Oh,
But
I'm sure.
man, I was pleasantly surprised. I had heard nothing but good things, right? Of course, guys like us are going to love stuff like this. But I'm like,
Right.
I've been meaning to watch this, so now I finally get to. No interruptions, just stupendous in terms of action. And in terms of that actress as well, Ana de Armas, everybody kind of, like gets nervous with, we have to have the female, hero or the female assassin come into it. Look, I don't care as long as it's done right.
Right.
Make a cool female assassin. I'm all good with that. And the fact that now John Wick's going to walk up to her and be like, all right, you want to throw down? And she's like, I have absolutely no problem with that. Pulls out the guns and off to the races we go. Really,
I love when he's walking up that
Yeah.
You see as he's walking up, you see them saying it's the Baba Yaga. You know?
I really liked the scenery, the production, like very Slavic, very Eastern European in wintertime. Great look, fantastic for where the story is going to go. And not only that, but not a bad cast either. There were a lot of big names in there.
Yeah.
Ian McShane, I think is his name. Angelica Houston, Gabrielle Byrne. I saw a lot of big names, and I love when John Wick gets to select his tasting items. Like when he walks in and that British guy is standing there. Good evening, Mr. Wick. And it looks like they're going to do that in this movie too. Fantastic.
It looks like from the trailer, you still got Lance Reddick in it. And
oh yeah,
he died. So
yeah. Huh. All right then.
Yeah, I'm down for this thing. This looks good.
Yeah, this is June 5th, early June is when we're going to do this. Okay, I'm excited. I'm up for it, man. Honey, put the kids to bed. Dad's going to go out and watch some stuff get blown up.
Oh God, Josh, I can't wait for you to see John Wick because John Wick is so good.
You got to watch that.
I tried to look it up on Peacock, and because it said it's on there, and I can't find it. Is there another?
Hold on.
The first 3 are on Peacock.
Are they? Let's take a look.
Said, but I'm not finding it.
Hold on. Where's John Wick streaming? Let's see. You don't have Apple TV, do you?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, okay. It says you can watch it there.
Or you can also watch it on Amazon.
Yeah. You get a couple of places you can watch it.
But is it on Max?
No.
It's not on Max.
Prime or Amazon Prime or YouTube. I mean, not YouTube, but Apple TV.
Got it. Okay, I'll take a look.
You will have a lot of
fun.
fun.
Movie.
It looks cool.
Yeah.
Wait, Bob, what's the movie we saw with Keanu Reeves? Constantine?
Yeah, we saw Constantine.
Okay.
Okay, this blows Constantine out of the water. I mean, good God,
Okay.
this movie is so awesome.
Yeah.
Favorite scene in that first film.
Don't say it.
It's not a spoiler. I mean, it like you can Google it all over the place, but where that guy's tells him we called him Baba Yaga, and the son's like, "What, the boogeyman?" Well, he wasn't exactly the boogeyman. He was the one you said to kill the boogeyman.
What was that one when the villain was like when it got really angry at his own son? You messed with John Wick.
Yes. Oh. Yeah. So great movie, great series. I love these movies.
This is gonna be fun, man. That's a good one.
Heck yeah.
Josh, watch it.
I am. I'm trying to find it.
Okay.
It's not that hard.
I'm looking right now.
By the time he finally finds it, this will be out, and Bob and I will have already seen it.
Good for you guys. Good for you guys.
Okay.
Yes, I am special.
Well, let's turn off the camera.
Can you?
I didn't do it enough.
Do you need to like shower or something? Every time I see you, you're itching.
I had one itch. That was it.
No.
What itch?
Before.
One itch.
No.
I give up. You know what? I give up. Okay? You have crossed the line. I had one little scratch. That was it.
There was more than one.
Good God. Shut up, Darren. Shut up, shut up, shut up. I've had enough. Shut up.
I always feel like we're like either three brothers or like a married couple fighting on this show.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
I think it's brothers.
All right.
Oh, God. No, it looks like a great movie. I'm excited to see it. Hopefully I'll see it. And yeah. Here's
you know what? That's not so bad. Okay, so we got Mortal Kombat 2 and we've got this. That's so far not so bad, 2025. Yeah. We're getting some good stuff here. Make up for that Red Hulk animosity that I had to go.
Yeah.
So okay. I need to let that go. That needs to be put behind me. We're done with that now.
You gotta pay for it.
All right.
Oh, Josh. All right. Now, just don't try to figure this out right now.
Fine. Go ahead.
We're in the middle of a show, man.
All right. I think we're on to the final topic of the evening, if I'm not mistaken. All right. Well, hit it, Bob, if you would.
No. You can't do James Bond without the James Bond music.
It's called copyright, Josh.
You could have done it for 5 seconds.
No, Josh, it's not how it works.
Or I could have done.
That's not the James Bond theme.
That was Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible.
Yeah, exactly.
We have something else to show.
Shut up!
Shut up, Bobby. You shut up. God, I hate that. I hate that, and I hate you with a passion. Unreal.
Oh, it's so good.
It is not. It is not.
Yes, it's dandy. All right. Well, folks,
she's like,
in
That's Mission Impossible, man.
Yes, that's what I meant.
Oh, that's what you meant.
There you go.
All right. Well, in case we need to remind everybody as to what the graphic actually was about, which we probably should, looks like James Bond, Agent Bond, got bought by Amazon. MGM Studios shelled out an extra $1 billion plus to take full control of James Bond. So, in terms of the details and what's next for the franchise, that's still a mystery. There is another Bond film being planned right now. I think it's supposed to come out 2026.
Okay.
But that's the latest we really know about it. So in terms of the details here, really they've got license to shelf. That's exactly what it is.
Yes.
I think they have all rights to the Bond character now, if I'm not mistaken, plus all its films and the library.
That's what it was. Is that they had already bought MGM. And the catch here was because of the Bond producers Barbara Broccoli and Michael G. Wilson, they weren't allowing certain things to happen and such. So they Amazon wanted to be able to get full creative control of James Bond, and I think I saw what they paid for it. Okay, so first off, they initially paid to purchase MGM, they paid $8.5 billion to get MGM.
Wow.
But they were real limited to what they could do because of these producers holding on to specific ideas. And my understanding is they're actually family members of the original.
Yes.
So because of that, they're very careful as to what they would allow. Now, Amazon, I thought I saw it in this article. Let me look real quick. I could be wrong. May not be here.
That's taking it back. You see Pierce Brosnan in that photo? Oof.
Yeah. Okay, I don't see it here, but I think I read in another article that they paid. Oh, okay. Either way, Insiders say that Bezos would end up paying close to $1 billion for the franchise. So I think this was to get the final rights to where they could pretty much do anything that they wanted. So
Gotcha.
if they want to do like a spinoff on Moneypenny, they could do that. Or if they wanted to give background on M, they could do that. So they or what's the name of that American CIA agent? Felix, right? I don't remember his last.
I think his name.
I don't remember the last name, but yeah. So they could do a series on him. So they now have full creative control to where they could pretty much do anything they want as far as James Bond goes.
All right.
And this goes back. You can go back and watch the Roger Moore, Sean Connery. They've taken it all, correct?
Yep, they got the library too.
Okay.
Yeah, because when they bought MGM Studios, they basically bought everything that came with them, and James Bond was MGM.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So,
and I don't think that was going to ever be in doubt or in danger of anything, because everybody's going to want to watch James Bond, at least one of them. So the question then is, where does James Bond go from here? Because there have been a lot of rumors, a lot of possible casting choices, story choices. There's a lot out there going around as to where James Bond actually goes from here now that Amazon has full creative control. So
Henry
personally,
Cavill, the new James Bond.
What's that?
I think Henry Cavill could be the new James Bond.
Well, Henry Cavill probably should be the new James Bond, but question is he going, would they cast him? And because isn't Henry Cavill still working on Highlander?
I mean,
yes,
probably. You would know more about that than me.
But he is being talked to right now about this. He's definitely like in the right now. He's in the main set of names in the hat right now.
Okay,
I've heard a lot of people say Idris Elba if they end up race swapping the character.
There's that. Actually, you know what? He could probably do it. He's pretty talented. There was another name that was floating around too, and I can't remember what it was now. But that's fine. All right.
But the question is, what direction would they take the storyline? Because, and not just the story, but Bond himself. Because I don't know. Did y'all watch all of the Daniel Craig series?
Yeah, I did not see the very last one.
Yeah, okay, I missed that one.
Because he's very different by the end of the series that he is early on. He's not a womanizer anymore or any of that. He's fallen in love and he's willing to settle down. He's got a son. You know, so the question is, are they going to take James Bond and are they going to neuter him? Or are they going to let James Bond be James Bond? Because, you know, looking at some of the stuff that Amazon has done, they've got, you know, duds like, you know, the Rings of Power or Wheel of Time, where they've actually taken some huge creative changes in order to modernize it for a modern audience. And then at the same time, they've come out with films like the Terminal List, which I thought was pretty dang good, which, you know, had real, you know, hard-nosed characters and stuff like that. So the question is, where do they take James Bond from here? Because I know personally, I'm a little worried where they would take this character.
How many movies have it? So in terms of for us, you know, when we were young, I'm sure you guys were the same. I think, what were you watching? The Sean Connery ones?
No, I think Roger Moore and what's his name? Timothy Dalton did a couple of films, and then Pierce Brosnan was really the Bond
Pierce
for
Brosnan
our teenage years.
Generation. Yes,
yeah.
Pierce Brosnan and Daniel Craig. The other movies with Roger Moore and Sean Connery, there were a ton of them though that we haven't gotten, right? Because we got Casino Royale with Roger Craig, we got Die Another Day, we got GoldenEye. What are we? There's got to be some other ones, right? There were that.
Yeah, there was. Let's see. So the four with Pierce Brosnan were GoldenEye, The World is not. No. That wasn't the second. Yeah, was that The World? Was
Yeah,
that
that was The World Is Not Enough. You're right. It was.
Yeah. Then there was Die Another Day.
And what was the fourth one for him?
Tomorrow Never Dies.
Tomorrow Never Dies.
Tomorrow Never Dies. Okay.
Yeah,
and then we had how many for Roger Craig?
Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig? Of course, sorry.
I appreciate the shout out for the 49er perspective, Josh.
Daniel Craig is what I meant. We had
How many touchdowns did he score in that series?
No, you know what it was? I'll tell you what it was. I was thinking of Casino Royale, and I took the R and put that in there instead of Daniel Craig.
I'm sure that's what happened.
You can just admit you effed up. It's fine.
No.
He did 5 films. He did Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace, Skyfall, Spectre, and No Time to Die.
Spectre, no, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I think the only one I didn't see was the last one.
Did you get go ahead.
There are a total of 25 films. I think there's actually 26, but one of them wasn't like an official Bond movie or something like that by the main production company, or so there's considered 25 in the main series. And then you've got, so it actually looks like there were 27 productions of Bond. So I'm not sure who the others were. Sean Connery actually came back to the role as a much older man. So he's played Bond quite a bit. He played Bond for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like 6 films. And then Roger Moore, I think, was the longest running Bond.
That's who I remember.
Because Moore played him in 1, 2, 3.
Actually, my first James Bond movie was Timothy Dalton.
Was it?
Yeah. It was
Which one was that? License to Kill?
License to Kill, yep.
Oh, you know what? You might be right.
Yeah. I think Benicio del Toro was the villain in that. I'm remembering him for some odd reason. But, I mean, it was fun. It was a fun introduction. You know, my parents were my dad still is way into James Bond. But, yeah, we were a Bond household. When the new Bonds came out, that was movie night.
When Daniel Craig came out with Casino Royale, how long had he been playing? How long had we had James Bond in that movie? Because he wasn't like a newbie, right?
No, that's actually some easy math. If there are 27 productions, he did 5. So probably, when did he get started? Like 2000?
No. I'm saying the James Bond character in itself. When Casino Royale started, how long was James Bond around? You know, it wasn't an origin. He had already been James Bond, right? Have we ever gotten like a true first couple of, I guess, probably from the original movies, right?
Well, Casino Royale is kind of the closest that you'll get to an origin.
That's true.
Because it's supposed to be like his first mission once he got his license to kill, or
that was great.
Okay, so the 2 films that were not from the main production company, Sean Connery actually played Bond in one of those films. So, and that was in 1983. So he was much older at that point. And so, yeah.
There it is.
So,
and there was an actual Casino Royale film back in 1967. This was, again, one of the films that was not by the main film series.
Correct. I do remember that. But the question that Bob had, Derek, was, where do we go from here? Where is Amazon going to go?
Well, and that's where
young James Bond,
I don't know.
Maybe you do an older James Bond and do.
Well, it's going to be a reboot period because of the way No Time to Die ends, because they kill James Bond in No Time to Die. Yeah, it's not a spoiler. I mean, that was a terrible kept secret. I mean, heck, the name of the film is No Time to Die. And they kept talking about how they were going to kill off James Bond. Yeah. And then at the end of the film, after they kill him off, it says, how it pops up, in the Marvel films, Captain America will return or whatever. Yeah. It pops up, James Bond will return. So they had already, it did. So they had already hinted that, yes, they're going to bring James Bond back. But the Daniel Craig storyline was supposed to be one story that's separate from all the other films. It was like its own story.
Entity, yeah.
Like a lot of these James Bond films are standalone films. Granted, you all have the same James Bond, but they don't necessarily connect with each other, maybe loosely, but the Daniel Craig series actually is a lot tighter knit as far as the way events play out and characters and how they relate to each other. So it's more of a cohesive story narrative.
So it's understandable why Amazon obviously made this move. I mean, they already got MGM, but I think they did this because this is really what they wanted. They wanted this probably more than anything else.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's understandable as to why you want a cornerstone, right? You want a big name, and you want to be able to try to make money off it. But yeah, to Bob's point, it is hit and miss with Amazon. There's been really good stuff and really bad stuff. So it depends what side that coin lands on for this. I don't know. I mean, you would hope that the movies would still come out in the theaters, right? I mean, they're not just going to take that away out of all this.
My guess is that they will. They'll probably still release under the MGM banner.
Okay.
Amazon owns it. So they'll probably get, not probably, they'll get all the exclusive streaming to it because they own the company.
Okay.
Kind of like how Fox still releases stuff under their banner, but they're owned by Disney.
Right. Yeah, gotcha. Okay, that makes sense.
That's what I'm thinking.
A Money Penny show.
Well, that's the thing is that now that I can't see that, but at the same time, now that they have creative control, they can do whatever they want.
Right.
So
maybe if you did a show,
go ahead.
I was going to say if you did a show, maybe one on M.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting.
Was call one
M?
Yeah, who was the giant?
That's Jaws.
Or Jaws. They could do that.
No.
No,
that's silly. He was a silly villain at the end of the day. I mean, he was a big dude, and he had a scary look to him, but he ended up kind of. You go back and look at it, you're like, man, that was cheesy. But there was a lot of cheesy stuff in the Bond movies way back when too. So, it wasn't until about the Timothy Dalton, Pierce Brosnan era when they stopped being that kind of cheesy. It got pretty gritty by that point.
Yeah.
Especially during the Daniel Craig.
Yeah, Daniel Craig was the gritty Bond. That was what was so cool about him.
You didn't think Pierce Brosnan was gritty? I thought he was gritty.
No. Too polished.
Huh.
Too British. Just still looks sophisticated. Daniel Craig looks like he could whip somebody down.
See, they actually make a joke about it in Skyfall about how gritty and grounded the James Bond is for the Daniel Craig movies, in which he's meeting with what's the name of the character that gives him all the gadgets?
Q.
Yes, thank you, Q.
Mm-hmm.
So he's meeting with Q, and he gets like a pin that's like a radio, or he gets just like a regular gun that just is matched up to his fingerprints or something like that. But he makes a reference saying, well, it's not exactly Christmas, is it? And I forget what Q says, but it was something referencing like these crazy devices that used to be in the other Bond movies and stuff. And that was the whole point, is they were making a joke saying that, this is much more grounded.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Daniel Craig, man, I don't know if he's my favorite Bond, but man, he's real close.
He was awesome.
Yeah, he's great.
I love Casino Royale.
That's a great movie.
I thought it was phenomenally done. I thought
a great Bond. One of my favorites. And that had been a big lapse between the Brosnan era and the Daniel Craig era. Well, actually, no, it wasn't that big. It was 4 years, but it felt longer. I don't know.
Yeah, was it only 4 years? I thought it was like 7 or 8.
No, 4. I'm looking at it right now. Yeah. Die Another Day was 2002, and Casino Royale was 2006.
Where did Daniel Craig come from before James Bond? Had he done anything huge?
Not really. No, he was big in Britain. He had done like a couple of like movies that Like I think one of them was like Layer Cake or something like that. No one had ever really heard of him.
Okay.
But man, did he deliver?
He did.
He did a good job, man. Who's going to get an Aston Martin anytime soon? Ant? No? Okay, fine.
I wish.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It sounds like this is going to be a very big gamble at this point. We're just rolling the dice right now. So I don't know. We'll see. I think they said that I think I was just saying this. The next movie is supposed to come out in 2026.
Right,
So
that's what you're saying.
we got some time. I mean, that'll be the first test of all this. So
as long as they stay to basics with James Bond, they're going to be fine.
Yeah, I was about to say you'll probably be fine if you do that.
Yeah.
If they decide to get real creative and make their own stamp on the series and stuff, then yeah. So we'll see what happens.
Just give the guy a British accent, put a suit on him, get him the drink that he shaken not stirred.
Shaken not stirred.
Probably gonna be fine.
Give him a cool car and
you need the car
and several Bond ladies in the movie.
Which that yes, please make sure you have those. And I wouldn't mind a scene with Q giving him the toys again because that's always fun. Yeah. All right, well, we'll see what kind of cards this shows. But best of luck, Amazon. But don't screw it up, man. Okay? Come on, it's a real easy formula. Just work with it. All right,
we go.
Josh, you itching yourself again?
I did have my back that started itching.
There you caught you again.
Jesus.
Go get in the shower. No, that's how we have to end the night with you scratching yourself.
It's just my back.
Yeah, we're gonna see him going.
Yeah, I was about to say that's your back right now.
There.
What's that? Your Magic Mike dance?
It is.
Okay. Anyway.
My micro mic dance.
Mike. All right. Well, I believe we've run the gauntlet here tonight,
Wow.
Josh. That's it. Yeah, short one tonight. So, social media. Throw it out there. Josh, go ahead.
You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, Family Men of the Valley, realtor here in Southern California.
Very good. Bob, hit it.
You can find me over on my YouTube channel, Bob Loves Movies. You can also find me on X and on Criticlist. And as always, our social media will be in the description below.
Where can we find you, Derrico?
Well, before I do that, gentlemen, do you remember the year when License to Kill was made?
Was that 87? No, 89.
89. You feel old yet? Because I do, and that's where you can find me on all the old people sites with LinkedIn and Facebook. All right. Let us sign off. Thank you, gents. Have a wonderful evening. Good talking to you, everybody.
Good night.
Great evening, guys.